What's going on, guys? A quick glimpse at the dollar here on a 60-minute chart. You can see the V bottom, and the V bottom. Looks like we're coming into the bottom. This was directly after the interest rate hike. This was the day after, and then this is today. So we got reversal, 2-bar reversal, and 2-bar reversal. So pretty excited about that, even though where did it come down to? Even though it came all the way back down to 1122, way down. So anyways, yeah, sorry for the mix-up on the dollar. I was using this before, but it didn't ever seem to be updating. So I can't even be for sure if that's even updated now. And I guess it is. Let's look at the weekly charts, weekly close. Looks like the dollar came in close near its highs today. No reversal bar. Looks like today came in just a little bit, but not enough. Came off 50% of the candle and bounced, so it's keeping its momentum. So it's not bearish yet until it starts breaking previous. For the month, coming into the month as well, looks like a definite breakout. S&P looks like the close is spinning top. Indecision inside the previous pattern, inside the previous candle. So that looks bearish to me. It probably needs to come back in a little bit, but holding 50% of the candle, keep its momentum, but anything can happen. It made its high for the week, came all the way back below previous week's close. So that is a little bit bearish with an indecision explanation mark. Let's look at the Dow. Looks like the Dow on a weekly closed pretty close to a falling star. So keeping on the bearish tones, looks like we got some bearish activity. If we can spot that reversal bar right away. Yesterday was the falling star. Now we got 3 wicks pointing up. We got a lower high and a reversal bar to be taken out. So watch out below. Looks like 19,751. Almost got to the 20,000 mark. Doesn't appear to be happening soon, as we got wicks pointing up, we got reversal bars, we had a gap to fill, and it did twice. Look for any closes below the EMA 8, and then we got the weekly close. It's almost a I'm just going to call it a falling star, but technically I don't know if it really is. You got a wick on the bottom, and is this body 2.5 times? Some would say just 2 times. 1, 2. It's not a true blue, but it has that same, like I always say, it has that same kind of trading price action. It goes out, makes a high, and closes in, making the semblance of a falling star. Let's go to, looks like the NASDAQ broke out and wanted to come back in. Falling star, you got wicks. Not long wicks, but they're still wicks. And we got to close down today. Looks like it's still in the throwback mode, so it's consolidating above the previous high or the previous break outside the pattern. Flat top break came in, bounced, bounced, bounced. Closing at support. Shanghai on a weekly, still coming down. Came all the way to the 13 on the EMA, looks bearish. Looks like we broke down, came back in, kept going. So it looks like it's in a bearish mode. But it looks like the measured move is in. From here to here, to here to here. It's almost a measured move. So maybe just a little bit tiny more down, a little bit catching this previous low. But we'll see what happens from there. It broke below previous highs, below the previous pattern break. You can see the flat top break there on that U and the other high. So it's closing below previous highs. So it's inside this pattern. So I guess if I can go back and change what I just said, it could just fill the rest of the pattern. We got support, previous highs, all the way down. We got a gap for support, previous lows, previous lows. So that's a daily, but the trading actions of falling star and then just broke previous lows, broke into previous highs, and recovered just a tiny bit. Plenty of room to come back in to the 34 if that's what it's looking for. That's a long candle near its lows, so I'm going to have to keep it bearish unless it turns on a dime and opens double bottom. Nikkei, Nikkei just keeps going. Nikkei's closing near its highs on a weekly close. Just keeps going. We are working with a double top now though on a daily. So see if this thing turns around right when it opens. Or keeps going. Looks like a gap and run. Got tired. Put a double top in on crude. Looks like it might fill the gap before it wants. No, this treasury note. Sorry. It's still going though. There is a double top now on the 10-year note. Look for the gap to fill. Hold support and then bounce right up. Otherwise, if it fills the gap and keeps going, yeah, it's a high flyer. Gonna have to come back into support sometime. No signal yet, but there we go. Look for the close in the gap on the daily. Crude. Looks like crude popped, came back in. Pretty weak. Looks like it popped, came back in, closing at previous highs. So at resistance, you can see the EM8 sitting right there, or the T3 actually, but it's just a smooth exponential moving average. So, you know what? It looks bullish because it popped, came back in, but it has to get above with a clean break above that flat top there to keep going. Otherwise, it's going to be caught in this, in between the 8 and the 13 until it decides where it wants to go. Looks like it got stopped out. It's closing near its highs, so it's still got momentum on the close. And for the week close, looks like it's just a spinning top. Trying to decide whether or not it can hit 70 on the previous high. Got to hit 60 first, but yeah. Coal got bearish all of a sudden, breaking back inside the pattern, closing at support at the previous highs. Nice spinning top. Back in. Huge throwback. See what happens. It's bearish, that's for sure. You got 3-bar pattern here, closing below previous highs, closing at previous highs. Could easily slip past on a 3, you know, those 3 long bars. Take the 1 long bar, take another long bar, and take another long bar. But right now it's closing at support. 8.13 right there can easily slice through, get down to 34 for support. But that 3-bar pattern is bearish. Gold. Gold on a weekly close. No reason to think that that's going to turn around, right? A little bit of bounce. Daily close. Closes at 50% of the previous bar, holding momentum in up or down mode. I don't know yet. It looks good, but it's closing at in and around 50%. If you want to be tactical, I bet you it's just right below. But the body is inside the previous candle, so that could be a bullish harami. Got a higher low. Lots of signals on the daily. Took another leg down, took another leg down. Is this the bearish retracement for another leg down? I'm not sure yet. But it's very telling on the hourly chart how we have a bunch of reverse head and shoulders trying to grab a bottom. We got left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Left shoulder, head, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And then this one's kind of whacked, but you can see just a little bit left shoulder, and then now the right shoulder. Closing up near its highs on the 60-minute chart. And another thing is this right here is that stair step controlled into support. That is controlling the price, stepping down one step at a time. So I think I'm bullish from here. If we got reversal, reversal, reversal. We got a cross into support, crossed into support. I'm looking at Sunday night is to be very nice indeed. Hopefully. Anything can happen. Watch for previous low breaks. If you think anything different, watch for previous low breaks and let it slide. Silver did take that extra leap down Reversal here, went sideways, higher lows, got a hammer right across the 13 right here, and from there came back into that hammer, closed above, did not confirm, and then the next candle bounced into the 34, back into support. There we go, another. Watch for a flat top break at 16. Anything above 16. I'm taking previous high breaks. 16, 15. Maybe into previous lows, which is where we're at now. So maybe a break into previous lows is probably a better bet. All the way up to previous low. Which if we get that first run, we might get stopped out at 1630. But so far so good. The daily, a little bit of bounce. That's more of a double bottom inverted hammer on a daily. So we had a bounce, but to be a nice bounce, it's got to close 50% of the previous candle to reverse. So it's not reversing on a daily. That could be a bullish Harami inverted hammer, but it's closing at very close to the bottom. We did close above 16, so that's awesome. Cotton below pretty hard. On a weekly, it's just disastrous. As you can see, the 3 bearish flags now. 1, 2, 3. Broke previous lows. Hit resistance, hit a double top. That double top was put in right before the interest rate hike. And that's when I posted on one of the comments that I wanted to see a flat top break. That did not happen. And lo and behold, it got snuffed out and just tumbled down the hill. So is that the last leg? I'm not sure. Looks like it closed, tapped a previous low and previous highs and bounced just a tiny bit. You got a 3-bar pattern here. Squeeze your bottoms. You got a higher low, higher low. Look for a flat top break above previous high breaks. 1619, I guess, would be a nice one. Getting above 50% of this candle, which would be above the 13. So here we have on the 4-hour, it came into resistance, backed off, popped resistance, came back into for support. So we're across the 8 and back into support on 4-hour chart. Otherwise, weekly, oh, look at that. Might have to go back and look at the, hit the 13 on the monthly chart. Let's see if we can close the month up here. That's where I wanted to bounce that last time. So it's still holding. These previous lows right here, closing right at those previous lows on a monthly chart. So is that the bottom? I'm not sure. We'll see how we open. We need to get above resistance levels on the monthly chart. Lots of work to do. And just real quick, go back to the hourly. So stair-stepping, pop, stair-stepping, pop. Let's see if we can get a pop for silver and gold on Sunday night. Let's look at a monthly chart for the gold. See if we're, that doesn't look good. that is in no man's land. All we got is a previous pattern to hold us up. Gotta get moving on this thing. But I like that 60-minute chart. It's very telling. The first bounce after the interest rate hike, the second bounce after the interest rate hike, and now a higher low bounce for the close. I'm always bullish, but anything can happen. Copper. Ooh, copper. What happened to copper? Copper's coming into support. Let's see what happens. Broke previous lows, though. That's not good. Maybe it'll come back, crossing the 34, and this is a bullish move. This is a bullish retracement. Let's see if 34 holds. Nothing's exact, so maybe it'll swing past the 34 and catch support at the previous candles. Previous pattern here. We got support here. We got support here. We got support at these two bars. So maybe just a sliver past the 34 at 2.5 and a bounce. If it doesn't bounce, then it's likely to fall back into the previous pattern lows. So, just closing out real quick. I don't want to make this a long one. It seems like every day we're just looking over the same things. Copper close on this. Looks like it still needs to come back into support, unless it wants to go sideways. We got higher lows, closing on its lows for the week. Copper needs to come down. Looks like weekly support's a little bit further down than that daily support. So yeah, on a weekly chart, it looks like price support is down here. So, let's see what happens. Anywho's, let's keep it real quick and smooth on these last ones. GDX took that leg to heart, closing near its lows. That's one of those cup and handle deals, isn't it? Cup, handle. That could be a nice bottom. And that my failed cup and handle over here, I was thinking about again. The cup and the handle. The cup and the handle. This is crazy because oh no, it was up here. That cup and handle, I wish. Oh, it was beautiful. It was doing everything it should have done, popped, and then just reversed on a dime. If this cup and handle would have went off, I would have been like ecstatic. But broke down, blah blah blah. Looks like it wants to close the gap and go into previous lows. That might be the bearish retracement. Pulling it down all the way from 32 to 8. Let's call it 19. Is it done? I don't know. Don't see anything yet. Looks like higher lows. Look for a break into the gap. We got resistance at the top of the gap. It needs a break inside the gap to cover, to fill the gap. Breaking into previous lows, that might be the bearish retracement, so it can allow itself to go further down. See what happens. It's got to cover that gap. It looks like it's gearing up for that. Looks like GDXJ closed on its low. That could be an AB bottom. A, B. It's got to close that gap. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Closing on its lows. It does not like to be in the mining. GDXJ does not like to be in the mining industry. It just collapsed. Let's see if it'll double down, making a double bottom tomorrow. Or Sunday. Oh, that doesn't look good right there. GDXJ just nasty. Nasty. Look at that. Ugh. You can see the break across the EMA 8 and then closing into support, but that's a nasty candle. Near its lows, it doesn't look like it's done. Ugh. Nasty. This one, Nugget, broke into the gap and got rejected. So, you hit a bottom, flew up, closed down, reversed, came up, reversal bar, came through, rejection, came back down into support. Closing on its lows for the hourly chart. I don't like it. Not much of a bounce for the last few days. Very weak. That didn't look like a bearish pattern to me, but there you go. Pretty nasty bearish pattern. Looks like Bitcoin is just about ready to pop again. Let's see what happens. Oops, what is that? Look at that. Reversed, reversed, reversed. Looks like it just needs to take out that falling star, the triple top, the 3 wicks, the reversal bar. Look for a flat top break on Bitcoin. Nice U into support. Again. There's a hammer. There's a hammer. There's a closing on a hammer. Hammer, hammer everywhere. Flat top break. Let's see it. It's coming. AG, if I had a ton of money, I would be buying this all the way. It's a nice hammer across the 8, coming back into support, closing on its lows though. For a triple bottom. Let's see a reversal. That's a stair step. Those controlled step downs. So we'll see how we can come out of that. That would probably be the GDX, GDXJ, JNUG, and Nugget. And then AG is probably my go-to for sentiment rather than just the index. Or the indices of gold and silver. I think that's it. I'm still in, just so everyone knows, I'm still in. I haven't changed my mind yet, and we had a good close, so I'm happy wherever it is. UEC. Tried for a couple days to get over 105, and it finally popped in the last couple hours of the day. Closing on the week, you can see the pop during Monday or so came all the way back down at support, and now we're closing up near breakout point. It is a indecision, long-legged indecision, but that's not at a top, so I'm expecting it to hit the other side from the break. I hope to match previous highs. So let's see. See if we can do this real quick. Let's take the 3 and the low. So let's call it 250. 250. Oh, that's not right. I'm not doing that right. Taking a high, trying to take a high and a low and figure out where we can go. Let's see if I can find a better way to do this. Not much to work with. Never mind. I was going to try to do a measured move, but if it was me, initially I'm taking the high and the low, but that would mean a breakout from 3, and that's not what I'm looking for. I could take the high here. Let's do that. Let's take 2 o'clock high and call this 50 cents, making that $1.50 from the break. So let's call the break at, yeah, so that'll get us close to 3, right? Just below 3 would be the measured move. There you go. Anywho's, if this would have closed anywhere near below where I bought it, I probably would have sold it. But it, I should have sold it and then bought it back, and sold it and bought it back, blah, blah, blah. That's what happens when you're not watching all day. But you can see, where was it? It was that pop right here where I thought, oh, I'm golden. 15 minutes later, it's all the way down. So I missed it. We had a reversal here, back into resistance, double bottomed it, and then that hammer right there across the 8, and then that broke finally today at the end of the day. So I'm bullish, maybe a throwback on Monday, back into 105. That would be a good time to pop, to buy it back. 105 was the flat top break today. So anywho's, I'm happy about that. Looking forward to maybe having some kind of a Christmas with some money in my pocket from a good move out of this boy. And so, for the month, you can see that pinch. It could consolidate some more, no doubt. It's at resistance now. You can see the inverted hammer here. See the pop coming back into support, and then the pop again. Here we go, one more time. I hope this runs to 3. Previous highs. Because there's not much of previous lows unless you get to where we want to break it. We want to break above these points. We want to break all the way up into previous lows, which makes sense from my measured move outside this pattern. These previous lows are my resistance. That one and that one. So probably keep my eye on selling just below those previous lows. Anywho's, weekly close. Let's go gold and silver. Go buy some silver. Let's get the bankers on their heels, as cash has gotten a lot more expensive. I'll see you guys.